deconstruct, demystify, unveil, unfold. There's more to the arts than meets the eye, if you see it through the looking glass. On the 27th of December, it became shockingly clear that even ordinary citizens armed with mobile phone cameras had become more than just eyewitnesses to a murder. They had managed to collect evidence.
If you can't tell the truth then, it comes out as time goes by, because these things which once documented really cannot be suppressed.
It's a powerful weapon. I mean, all of a sudden you have a billion people who are roaming around with cell phones or with recording devices in their hands. And in the case of Benazir's death, all of a sudden you had not just one point of view, you had 1,000 points of view, which came from people who were filming or photographing in the public.
Beware the machine that can take a moment in time and frame it for all time. As in the case of Benazir Bhutto's assassination, who knows, there might be another very important image lurking around that the world hasn't yet seen. Hello and welcome to The Looking Glass. I'm Saira Akhtar, and in this episode we look at the rise of photography from its hazy beginnings to the razor-sharp little spy in your pocket that it's become today. Photography as we know it today has become a cheap and disposable ally in our world. It's part of any mid-range mobile phone and comes along as an incidental add-on. But this complex little gadget has very simple beginnings. Well before the 1500s, pinhole cameras and camera obscuras were in fact performing the function of any camera we know today. The only difference was that they had not yet discovered how to make the reflected image permanent. But that didn't stop it from being useful. And the first clue comes from painters who use this basic principle of physics as a drawing aid. A rather controversial theory presented by the artist David Hockney and physicist Charles Falco suggests that artists had been using camera obscuras, reflective mirrors, and other forerunners to today's cameras to help them with their proportions and dimensions.
There's a lot of new research that lends itself to this argument that the lens has been used to create two-dimensional works preceding the birth of photography in the 19th century. You have instances of painters using lenses to project an image from a camera obscura onto the canvas and to enhance the illusionistic element of what they're doing. You have this in the art of Caravaggio as well as Vermeer. In fact, the Turin Shroud as well, which is an image fixed onto a two-dimensional surface of fabric, is said to be the self-portrait of Da Vinci himself.
In fact, the Hockney-Falco theory suggests that the realism that artists managed to achieve during the Renaissance was only possible because of their drawing aids.
They would never tell anyone, they would hide it, and because the camera obscura was initially as a drawing aid, the progression or the connection comes from there. Tracing paper रख के through the lens, the way light would reflect, the light would enter. You'd put a drawing paper on top, make a sketch of anything. People used it to make it went into so deep into helping people draw that one of the things that it was very popular was architects, because you wanted perfect sketches of buildings and things and documentation. One of the fathers of photography discovered that he was really bad at drawing. I mean, if you see his pencil sketches dating back to that time, you do have a laugh कि भाई तू क्यों कोशिश कर रहा था आर्टिस्ट बनने की. तो उसके अंदर ये कहीं आइडिया आया कि why don't I make a drawing aid kind of a thing, and he created the camera obscura, or at least improved on it in the sense that it existed, and then he wanted to further improve on it, that rather than having a temporary image, he wanted it to be permanent.
So photography predates what we normally associate with as its date of genesis.
And once they learnt how to trap or fix the image to a surface, photography came into its own. The transient reflection became a photograph. The final push came in around 1888 when George Eastman developed what we know today as film and sold cameras that could be fitted with these rolls of emulsion-covered paper with the slogan, "You press the button, we do the rest." Photography became a truly mobile medium that could take to the streets.
We're due for a quick break, but coming up on the other side, we look at what pictures tell us about the times that we live in. Stay tuned.